Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Lounging with Lisa, the video series that has me lounging while coming at you with thoughts of the day. Do you notice anything different? Not only the fact that I have a zit and a fever blister, but I'm not talking about me, but with the house. The cat tree is not behind me anymore, ladies and gentlemen. I've done some rearranging. That's not really why I'm coming at you. I'll flip this around and show you Bernadette. That's her new location. I don't even know if it's in the frame at all. Here's Mars very close to me, and I've been doing some stuff. So, I just finished up my column, and it's kind of political. Stay away from that quite a bit these days. I find it to be hilarious that anybody thinks any elections are legitimate. I mean, I listened to a thing last night, for example, that talked about the primary from 2016. For 2 years after, they were still, there was evidence that the machines were going from from Bernie Sanders votes are being turned over to Hillary. There's all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's just crazy. Why do people who should know better still support this jazz or whatever? It's bothersome. But the column that I did with the help of Judith M. Villeneuve, Maine, was I just remember I have a pig beside me, was basically how everything has become politicized. So I asked her to assist me, and she sent me a bunch of words, and I showed how all of these words could be linked in politically. Even kittens, words like kittens and asphalt. Yep, it can be done, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what's happening here. Also, staying on politics for a minute, I might as well. Gosh, Mars, how close can you get? For heaven's sakes. I just think it's funny. I don't think a lot of people look at the records of others, like they just sort of fall in love with a personality, politically speaking, and kind of believe whatever they say, sort of deal. Like, I'm thinking of, like, Nancy Pelosi, for example. She, that dramatic display of insanity where she tore up the speech, the State of the Union speech. And meanwhile, they're all passing the president's his economic policies. I couldn't think of anything. I couldn't think of the right word. They renewed the Patriot Act. They did all this jazz, which is not really associated with resisting, is my point. And then if you say anything truthful now, like say that I say something about Joe Biden, like he's really not fit to run for president, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not taking any glee in saying that. I don't, even though there's a lot of things wrong with him, but he's clearly has issues in terms of senility or early Alzheimer's or whatever. It's pretty clear. But you're not allowed to tell the truth about that. You're not allowed to mention it because you're just considered to be bashing somebody in the Democratic Party, and how dare you, it's only going to get Trump elected again, and all this jazz. It's just crazy. I mean, and the Trump derangement syndrome really is a thing. I mean, there was Obama derangement syndrome as well. But looking at from the outside both times, really, I think it's worse this time. I do. To me, now tell me if I'm wrong, and be nice about it, though. Donald Trump doesn't really govern any differently than any other Republican, from what I can tell. He seems to be pretty much on target in what he's doing, Republicanly speaking. He didn't run on that. He ran as kind of a populist, but yeah, so I just don't see the big difference. There is one difference. He's kind of crude and not likable, I guess you'd say. Some people love him, but he's not, as many say, presidential. So he's kind of crass and whatnot, you know what I mean? Rough around the edges, that kind of deal, which I guess bothers a lot of people. But if you just look at his policies, check the record, it's really no different. So I just don't get it. I'm really, really flabbergasted over some of the people that more or less do YouTube for a living that talk about this kind of stuff, that haven't awakened to the fact that there's never an election, it's a selection. I mean, just think about it this way. What if Joe Blow down the street wants to run for president on the Republican ticket, for instance? He's not going to be able to do that. I mean, it has to be chosen by party insiders. Same thing with the Democrats. So really, that song by Jody on Family Affair back in the day, any boy can be president, can be Washington, blah, 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 of the United States of America. Okay. It's not true, is the point. You know, the parties choose these things. Democrats in court in Florida admitted that they can choose whoever they want in a smoke-filled back room. Probably no smoking, though, these days. It's okay to be corrupt in terms of choosing a candidate, but God forbid you light up a cig. So I think I'm done. At any rate, that's all. I just wanted to drop in. I'm a little discouraged lately of everything I turn on has to do with the election and, you know, come on. Didn't anybody learn a lesson in 2016? It's just crazy behavior. All right, I'm done, I think. My son's coming over. There's some weird stuff going on. I'll tell you about it maybe at some point. It's pretty serious, but it's not anything to do with health or anybody or mom or any of that jazz. And I'm going to get back to work. I just thought I'd throw myself down here on the love seat, show you that there's not a cat behind me in a cat tree because, in fact, my little sewing machine is in that sewing holder. And then some of my art stuff and, yeah. That arrangement back there was $1. The flowers and the mason jar, $1 at Samaritan's. I got a few things to go behind me on the show for the live gigs. Oh, yeah, that brings me to this. I forgot. This is another reason why I'm coming on here. I think tomorrow I'm going to do a test run and just see if I can turn the phone sideways. I've tried to do it before on a live gig and it did not work. It ended up like we were all like this or something. So I'll see, because I might flip it sideways. I'm just not sure what I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen. I want to be able to read the comments and make eye contact, and I'm always, you know, if you go back to my video from the other day when I just turned it sideways to tape a video, it was too much. All right, I think I'm done. Lounging with Lisa, the video series that has me lounging while coming at you with thoughts of the day. Join me, join others, drop your political identities. I know you're not going to. Let's focus on issues. Forget about it. Just go by personality. Leave labels at the door. Nah, call people names. Research before you judge. Nap. Just clutch pearls if you hear something you've never heard before. Remember, war is a racket. That is for sure. Don't take my word for it. Check out General Smedley Butler and what he had to say. I'm very disappointed in this. Okay.